Now, I've just stepped outside the Beyond Radio studio because where we are up in Palatine Avenue Amenities Park in Lancaster, right on the border of Scotforth and Bowerham, there has been some activity over the last few days. A group of young people have been here actually doing some work in the park to do some improvements, and we'll be having a chat with them shortly. But first, I want to chat to a couple of people who are from the local community and who have helped form the Palatine Projects. Now, that is a group of local residents who are working to improve the park here where Beyond Radio is situated. So welcome to Janine and to Neil. So this park has been here for many years. I remember as a young man coming to play tennis here on some of the courts. But at that time, actually, there was a park keeper who used to dish out the tennis rackets and tennis balls and the bowls and everything else. But those days have long gone. And the park has kind of had to look after itself a little bit, really, until recent years, until Palatine Projects came along. Just give us a quick update on how we got to this point.
Okay, well, about 4 years ago we decided that rather than take on the whole site, because it's a big area, and say, oh, we're going to redevelop and regenerate the whole place, when if you do that you set everybody up to expect something, and then if you don't deliver you failed, and it's just it's bad. Yeah, you end up disheartened and you all go home and give up. So instead of doing that, we took one area, which was the tarmac tennis courts, and we worked on them with friends and neighbours, and we improved them by digging out the buddleia and the brambles and weeding it and brushing the tarmac, and we got some funding and we put some nets up, some beautiful brand spanking new nets, and we just invited the whole community to come and play tennis. And they have done ever since, so we brought back a provision that hadn't been here for quite a long time. So it gave everybody a bit of good things still can happen. So we did that, and then we went, right, let's do something else. So we went back to the community and said, what else shall we do? So we decided that we'd work on one of the shale courts to make it into a community garden. And so we got David Redmore to come. He chopped down some of the silver birches that were sort of really packed into that space so that we could make it into a more managed woodland garden. And so that's been a long-term project. And then, of course, the sort of creme de la creme is the Palatine Bowling Club, which has come out of the ashes like a phoenix and sort of flopped a bit because we've always come last in the league for the last 2 seasons. But I have to say that this season we didn't come last in the league because the season was cancelled. So every cloud, Duncan, has a silver lining.
Excellent. And obviously we know that councils are strapped for cash at the moment to kind of maintain parks to the standard that they were many years ago due to government funding cuts. So how important is it then that the community get behind a project like this?
Well, I mean, we found it vital because, as you say, the council has been short of money more and more as the years have gone by for at least the last 10 years. So as you said, they just can't keep the recreational spaces up to the standard that they used to do when we were younger. But we've kind of lived with this fact now. It doesn't look like it's going to change. And we've sort of developed a model that suits the present conditions. Where we work very closely with the council. We brought two city councillors onto our group, Palatine Projects group. And we found it's a good way to work. I suppose you could say basically we provide the labour, local people in the community. We do sweeping, lopping and chopping, various things like this, and we call upon the council when we've got a great big pile of rubbish to take away, or bushes and trees that need chipping. We get them cut down, we call the council, and within a day or two they're there with the chipper or whatever. So it's that kind of close collaboration which has been forced on us, I suppose, by circumstances, but it seems to fit the circumstances, and we've both been involved in different groups to do with Palatine Projects over the last more than 10 years, and we found this one to be the most successful. We look at a focused project which has the potential for a quick win. We provide the labour, City Council provides help, and yeah, we get things done a little bit at a time.
And you've had some young people working on the project this last few days. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, these are people from the Prince's Trust organisation, and about 6 or 8 weeks ago, at fairly short notice, we got the opportunity to put a proposal to the two leaders that we've had working with us, Charlie and Lily, and we brought them over to the park, and they brought a couple of the volunteers that would be in the groups, and we showed them a couple of ideas, one over on one side of the park and one over on the other, to give them some choice. They also had another project somewhere else in Lancaster to choose from, and we were pleased that they chose us. And the project that they decided to work on was the Shale tennis court area, community garden area that we've been working on bit by bit the last 2 years. We've always had an idea of putting a nice path through it, and so they've been working with us last week and this week, and we've been really pleased. They've had a great attitude. All the kids have worked hard. Some of them have worked spectacularly hard. We've all got bad backs. So yeah, it's worked really well, and I think they've got something out of it as well, and they've given something to this community as well. So it's been great.
That's good. And I guess, Janine, this is a model which must be kind of replicated right across the country as councils are unable to kind of maintain some of their recreational areas. So it is important that the community are involved in helping that. What would your vision for the future of the park be?
I think that it probably is a model where it's about collaborative working with local authorities to get things done in parks. I think that it's about taking little steps. When you say that you're going to regenerate a piece of land or set up a project, the first thing that you get from people is, are you going to apply for funding? And for us, I think that we approach it the other way around, because if you've got a great facility that's had millions of pounds of funding pumped into it, but no neighbours with a sense of community or a sense of space and ownership, then you've just got a really smart facility that will again degenerate over time. So our approach has been much more about trying to encourage everybody to look at the space slightly differently and start to love it again. I know that it had its heyday, but and that's what people tend to hark back to. But that's not to say that's just because that's been. It can't be another vibrant, exciting community space, because we have fewer of these spaces. So rather than think, the council should do something, no, let's work together and own it and cherish what we have. So I think that it's about just changing the way that we look at these spaces, and it's a bigger back garden really. It's all of our back garden. So.
Excellent. Well, as we said, the young people have been working on this project alongside you guys, so let's go and find out what they've got to say about it. Now, I'm with a couple of young people that have been working on the project up here at Palatine Park, and they are from the Prince's Trust. And tell me who you are.
I'm Chanel.
Hi, Chanel, and who are you?
I'm Ellie.
Ellie, okay. So Chanel and Ellie, who've been busy working the last few days out here in all kinds of weather, I have to say. The weather's not been brilliant. So tell us, what work have you been doing?
We've been doing a community project on the garden across from the Palatine bowling green. And we had to dig out all the plants and the trees and stuff like that and everything that needs clearing. And then once we've cleared that, we dug a path out, and then it's going to be layered down with wood, and so people can walk over it.
Sounds great. And has it been hard work, Ellie?
At times, yeah.
You had to do a lot of digging and carrying and fetching heavy bits and pieces, yeah?
Yeah. I struggled a bit with the spades. The spades were quite heavy. And, yeah.
I find spades heavy, to be honest, as well, so I'm not surprised. How old are you guys? How old are you, Ellie?
I'm 18.
And how are you?
17.
17. So have you done any other kind of work like this at all, or is this the first time you've got, because it is kind of heavy, hard work, isn't it? Lots of digging and stuff.
No, I've not done any of this kind of work before, but I've really enjoyed trying it out and stuff like that.
And what about you, Annie?
I haven't done any kind of work like this, but I've enjoyed it.
That's good. And how did you guys end up in this park? Because I believe you had a choice, I think, didn't you, about the project that you wanted to do?
Yeah, we had a choice from painting the boards down in the football court.
And we also had a choice with the Lancaster District Homeless Action Service. It was quite hard to decide between each one.
Well, I'm glad you did, because you've done a great job, actually. I've been having a look at it this morning, and I know what it was like, in the last few months. It was really overgrown. It was quite a mess. But you've made this, you and your friends who are out there outside at the moment, you've done a brilliant job in clearing all that area, and it's going to be great for families and kids to be able to walk through and play in there. So brilliant job. Well done. Have you still got some work left to do out there?
Yeah, just laying the wood down for the path and clearing it up and maybe planting some bulbs and stuff to make it look nice.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure it's going to look fantastic when you've finished. So well done, you guys. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm now joined by Lily, who is a support worker with the Prince's Trust, working alongside these young people. They've worked hard, Lily, haven't they, this week?
Yeah, they've done so well. Moving all that turf and creating that path has just been so much hard work. At the best of times with the weather, I think they've absolutely smashed what they've done. I think they could organise a business of their own doing the amount of turf that they've moved. And a lot of hard work in terms of just the fact that the area is so root filled. Previously it was filled with birch trees and basically all these different types of shrubbery, and it's just really hard work, and I'm so proud of them for the effort they've put in.
It's great actually seeing these young people actually doing something for their community, which a lot of young people don't do these days, and it's great that they've come together to do that. I mean, is it likely these young people now go on to another project, or is it just a one-off project for them?
In terms of our programme, it's this one project. The next project they do, which is a bit similar to this, is helping a certain type of person, so whether that be the elderly, disabled people, all different walks of life. But this project is basically something to give them an idea of what it's like to work for free, really, in volunteering opportunities, because a lot of the young people don't necessarily have much experience in the working world, obviously, which is very difficult at the minute with the current background we're in with COVID, but it gives them something to talk about in interviews, and it really shows them what it's like to work really, really hard.
And can anyone apply to join the Prince's Trust Volunteers, yeah?
Well, basically, to be on the programme, it's a 12-week programme. You have to be 16 to 25 years old. And yeah, basically, if you want to refer anybody or you know of anybody, you can contact us. A lot of the time, it's a work preparation programme. So yeah, it's ideal if you're not sure what you want to do in the future, or if education wasn't necessarily for you at school. There's all sorts of different reasons that people get involved, and it's basically we can support these young people throughout whatever they're going through, really, in their life.
Great stuff. So how would someone get in touch with you guys if they wanted to, I don't know if they can refer themselves or if they need to be referred?
Yeah, so they can go online, so they can do a self-referral, and they can also ring our team leader, Charlie Brown, on the office number. I'll tell you it now. So it's 01524 413 358. So you can ring that number, leave a message. If you know anybody in your family, any of your friends, just contact us and we can try and help you in whatever we can.
That's great, and I'm sure the work that would come from that and the experience will be absolutely fantastic and very valuable, not only to the young people but to the community as well. Lily, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Cheers.